Hey everyone, if you've ever tried to learn DevOps and just felt completely lost in a sea of different tools, well, this one's for you. We are going to cut right through all that confusion by focusing on one really simple, powerful idea, understanding the why before you even touch the how. Okay, does this look familiar? If you've started looking into DevOps, I bet it does. It's this tidal wave of logos, right? You've got Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, and the list just goes on and on. It feels like you're supposed to learn all of them all at once. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. And listen, if looking at that last slide made your head spin, take a deep breath. That is completely normal. I really want to emphasize this. You are so not alone. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed is pretty much where everyone starts. So what's the deal? Why is it so overwhelming? Well, it's because most of us are trying to learn it completely backwards. We jump straight into learning the tools without ever stopping to understand the problems they were actually built to solve. And that's the common approach. And honestly, that's exactly why it usually fails. This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? When you start with the tools, the whole thing is confusing, it's frustrating, and frankly, a little bit boring. The knowledge you think up feels kind of useless without any context. But when you flip it, when you start with the concepts, the big ideas, man, everything changes. The path becomes clear, it's way more engaging, and the knowledge you build is just powerful. And that brings us to what might be the single most important idea in this entire explainer. Just let this one sink in for a second. A tool is not DevOps. The tool is just a helper. That's it. The real DevOps, the stuff that sticks, is understanding the flow, the method, and the big idea behind it all. And here's the difference in a nutshell. Tools, they're temporary. They come and they go. A new shiny tool might come out next year and make the one you just spent 6 months learning totally obsolete. But the concepts, the why behind what you're doing, that knowledge is permanent. It stays with you forever, and you can apply it to literally any tool you pick up. All right, so how do we learn the concepts? It's actually way simpler than you'd think. We're just going to follow the journey of a piece of code. By tracing this simple, logical path from a developer's keyboard all the way to a live app, the whole DevOps thing just clicks. It suddenly makes perfect sense. So let's follow that journey. And here it is, the entire DevOps journey in 6 logical steps. So it all starts with step 1. A developer writes some code. Simple enough. But that code can't just sit on their laptop, right? So step 2, we need to store it somewhere central, kind of like a library for code, so the whole team can work together. Next, we have to test and build it. We want to find any bugs before our users do. Once it passes all the tests, we package it up, which is like putting it in a box with everything it needs to run properly. Then comes the fun part. We deploy it. We push it out into the world so people can actually use it. But we're not done. Finally, we have to monitor the application to make sure it's healthy and not crashing. So you see, the big secret is that DevOps isn't some crazy abstract idea. It's just a series of logical steps. Every single stage we just talked about exists for one reason: to solve a specific, real-world problem that comes up when you're trying to get a piece of software from an idea into the hands of a user. That's really all it is. Okay, so now that we get the journey, let's talk about the payoff. Let's look at how this concept-first mindset completely changes the game for you. And we're not just talking about feeling less confused. There are some real, powerful benefits here. Just check out these benefits. First off, once you understand the problem you're trying to solve, learning any tool built for that problem becomes like 10 times easier. And your knowledge becomes future-proof. It's going to last a lifetime. You'll also have the wisdom to know which tool is the right one for the job, and you'll be able to explain why. And maybe the best part of all, you will never fear a new tool again, because you'll have that solid foundation to instantly understand its purpose. So if you only take one single thing away from our time together, please let it be this mantra. Understand the concept first, then the tool. Seriously, that simple little shift in perspective is the key. It's what turns DevOps from a scary mountain of commands into a logical, easy-to-understand process. And I just want to leave you with this one last thought. For so long, the conversation has always been, which tool should I learn? What's the best tool? But what if we've been asking the wrong question this whole time? What if, from now on, the first question you always ask yourself is simply, what problem am I actually trying to solve?